Hi, I'm Ed.
I'm Steve.
And we're the 6'5 guys. We're here at the Central Oregon Precision Rifleman Tactical Rifle Championship. A bit of a mouthful there, but certainly looking like it's going to be a terrific event. We just checked in here to the Marriott Fairfield in Bend using Steve's points. He's a platinum member.
That's right. So we just checked in, and not only at the hotel, but before we got here, we went to the range, which is CASA, Central Oregon Shooting Sports Association.
Yeah.
Took a look at that range for the first time, and it was
it's impressive.
Just an awesome facility. It really is quite nice.
I mean, if you're into like cowboy action shooting, I mean that is like Valhalla. I mean,
there's a lot of different venues there.
Oh, yeah.
Not only do they have extensive long range, abilities to shoot long range, but they have a number of different bays for cowboy action shooting, pistol, you name it. So it gave us a chance to get out there, confirm our zero, check into the match, get our match books, which we actually have, sign up for a squad, and we're in the process now of, now that we're back at the hotel, of making sure that we're ready for tomorrow. We wanted to share with you some of our preparation just so we feel like we're comfortable when we get to the match tomorrow, that we're good to go.
Yeah, and what was nice is we were actually able to download it. They provided a very detailed match book, and we can provide a link to this. And so we actually studied it on the drive down, and Steve actually prepared for each stage, actually prepared some cards that will go into our Sunrise Tactical Risk Coach.
That's right.
And
so with each stage, because it had a fairly detailed description, we, as well as a stage map of where you'd be shooting from, what the positions were, ranges to targets, and roughly how each target is oriented to the shooter. It allowed me the ability to basically miniaturize that into a little card that we could cut out and put onto a 3x5 index card and then stick on our risk coach.
Yeah, and one of the lessons we learned, I mean, we discussed this in the SAGE flats after action report, as well as our review of the Sunrise Tactical Arm Boards, and that is to use just a complete ballistic chart or try and use your smartphone can be a little cumbersome and slow. And so what we've learned is that it's just a lot faster if for each stage you just have a card that's written up for that particular stage, and essentially it is enough information to help you identify the target, the ranges of those targets, the elevation, and the wind value.
The other thing that we did out at the range, not only confirming our zero, and I actually had a slight change in elevation on one of my turrets by 0.1, but we chronoed some additional rounds just to make sure that the muzzle velocity in our loads was correct, so that we were computing our shooting solution, we're right on.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I switched lots of powder, lots of H4350, and I got about a 40 foot per second bump. So
it's pretty surprising.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows that it pays to definitely re-chronograph when you change powder lots or really change anything significant with your reloading.
Now, I think the other thing that's kind of exciting to know is when you chronoed, you did 10 rounds, right? You only had a SD or standard deviation of 3.
Yeah, I was real happy with that.
Yeah.
And I've been doing, one thing I noticed is on mildly compressed loads, that you get a lot of seating depth variation, more so than you would get with non-compressed loads. And so I've simply been seating the rounds twice, and
so you seat it, and then what? You bring it up and spin
and then
it
turn,
about
and
90
then,
degrees.
and then seat again. And so now everything is like within a thousandths, and it just so happens that I noticed my SDs go down quite a bit. Now, whether there's a causal relationship there, I'm going to find out. So I'm going to do 10 rounds where I just seated once, and another one where I double seat them
and see if you get a difference.
Yeah, and see if I get a difference. Okay. But what it does tell me is just there just seems to be a cumulative positive effect of just the things that I'm doing with my reloading practices.
Yeah.
and then I'm just getting very, very low SD.
Now my results when I chronoed, it was pretty much identical to what I'd got when I chronoed last weekend before we came out. I ended up getting 2949. Today I got 2951. SD of 10, which I think is very acceptable for what we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, they actually had some stills set up, so we were able to hit out on the range we were sighting in on out to 500. So you know, that confirmed that we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good. Well, why don't we cut to you know, a little bit of a snapshot into some of the preps that we're actually doing tonight. Give you guys an idea of kind of the things that we're doing, you know, whether it's right or wrong, at least for us.
I mean, it's what we're doing, right?
It makes us feel comfortable that we're ready.
Yeah, it's what we're doing.
So,
so shall we? We'll move on here.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of paper here, Ed. I just noticed that I think I'm a little more organized than you are.
What?
Just kidding. All right.
Hey, I'm cutting along the lines. What are you telling me? What, did you use like one of those little tabletop mounted things? Did you?
Yeah, exactly. A
razor
razor blade. Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
Square 90-degree corners. Come on.
All right. Well, I tell you, I haven't cut this much paper since like kindergarten.
So, as soon as you get that cut, just flip it around 180 from where you got. I just want to get a zoom in so guys kind of see. Actually, I can reorient the camera. So these are the little arm board things that we created, and we'll show you here in just a minute. You know, once Ed gets these cut out, what we do with them. But we just got done cutting these out, and now because they're flimsy, floppy paper, and those are hard to stick into an arm board, we're going to attach them to a 3x5 index card.
Yep.
Just using a little bit of tape.
Yep. And then I'll just fold it around the back there. I guess if I had like some paste, that would probably be.
Which is actually what I did with.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah, because I did mine last night. I used some school, you know, the stick paste.
Right, and so.
Which actually, you know, if you go into my data book, I actually have my cards right here.
Oh yeah, see, there's the finished.
Yeah, these are the finished product here.
Boy, those look really good.
Yeah. So these are mine. Now, you know, once we get to the match tomorrow here, once we get to the match tomorrow, we will have our environmentals, and I will just go ahead and use my calculator to write in the mill drops and any windage, or in this case, the lead for the mover. My recollection at this yardage, it's 1.6
yeah, 1.6 mils.
All right, well, let's continue on, and so we'll see how this idea works. You know, is it necessary to go to all this trouble? Not really. You know, it really isn't. But
no, I mean, something like this is functional.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're going to see if.
But there was a lot to each stage, and you know, we had the extra time, we had the information, so why not?
Why, absolutely, why not? Yeah, I can see how paste is a much better.
It was a little messy though. With paste.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Can be.
This is like a perfect project for my daughter.
Yeah, there you go. Give her the cut. Have her cut everything out.
I would have her cut it and paste it. I'd pay her like $1, and then she'd probably do it once, and then get tired of it.
Right. Okay. So actually, pop one in there. Let's actually see what it looks like.
Yeah. So we'll pop this open here, and he's popping from the top. So we'll go in here. Put it in.
That plastic kind of sticks together sometimes. That's why you got to use cards. Just pieces of paper won't work. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, it looks good. We just need to write in the actual drops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the other things that I'm doing And I'm going to pass the camera on to you. Before the match, I'd chronoed my round, and I created a ballistic drop table using JBM Ballistics. So if you go to jbmballistics.com, I believe is the website, you can put in a lot of environmentals. Now, we won't go through the details in this video of how to do that. There's actually a really good video put out by 8541 Tactical, and that website, he's got his own YouTube channel that provides some good information on how to use JBM. But I put in all of the information about my loads, the muzzle velocity, the ballistic coefficient of the Burger 130 BLD, and so on. And I also created 3 versions based off of the density altitude, or actually in JBM you put in the station pressure, the humidity, and the temperature, and it calculates the environmental density altitude and its effect on the exterior ballistics.
And you had to do that because in JBM you can't put in density altitude?
That's correct, yeah. So I have 3 versions. There are other density altitude calculators, so using those numbers you can back into what the equivalent DA is, which is what I've done. And I basically copy and pasted the output from all of those tables into an Excel spreadsheet. And now this is my backup drop table. So if my, God forbid, my ballistic calculator in my iPhone, and I use Shooter, which I find to be good enough for what we're doing. We're shooting out to 1,000. It's pretty good for calculating out to 1,000. And so I have my backup here, and one of the things I'm doing prior to the match is I'm going in and I'm validating based off of the environmentals we picked up and recorded out at the site. The DA today was around 6,400, and I actually have one here at 6,219 that I calculated on JBM, and I'm going through and I'm validating that the drops on my calculator match up to what's in JBM. And they actually do. There's a few that are off by 0.1, but that's close enough for what we do for the size of the targets and the distances that we're working at.
Well, and also from a redundancy standpoint, because we're shooting the same rifle and the same load,
right?
He could use my smartphone and
exactly, yeah.
Just usually our velocities are only apart by maybe 20, 30 feet per second.
Right. So and then here's my logbook, which one of the things that we use, and my favorite page that I use are basically these sheets that is basically like a shooter's diary. So you can see on here, today is 9/16. It allows you to put in your time, location, rifle, your wind, and what the light was like, as well as your environmental information here. The last session last weekend, we chronoed out at Cascade. Today we're at Casa, and you can see basically, last week my muzzle velocity when I chronoed there was, sorry, that was a different load, so I'm over here on the VLDs, was 2949, and then today I ended up with 2951. So good to know that it really hasn't changed, and so I'm good to go.
Excellent. And I noticed you do 10 rounds when you
chronograph? Yeah. Do you need to do 10? Probably not. A lot of times I'll do 5, but because I had the extra rounds to shoot, and then also I basically cleaned the barrel before I came out. So before I zeroed, I wanted to make sure the barrel was seasoned. Laid back down some variant surface in the barrel.
Right. So in that case, you wanted to do
right.
it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I found out, particularly since I'm getting SDs in the low single digits, I'm feeling pretty comfortable just doing 5.
Yeah. Generally, I would shoot 5. I think for the fact that I had the extra rounds, it gives me that. A lot of times you'll do things. I think a lot of precision shooters are this way. They get a little bit OCD, right? Like, well, did I do enough of this, or is my data really good? The fact that you actually have more data points gives you more confidence that the number's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Steve, most important part of the preparation is that pre-match dinner.
I'm with you on that, bud.
Exactly.
Looking forward to it.
Exactly.
And tomorrow.
Yes, yes. Hopefully the victory dinner.
We'll see. You know, I saw the list of competitors, and I think we'll have our work cut out for us.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we definitely will.
You know,
yeah.
I think if nothing more, we're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of 6'5 Guys. We're interested in knowing if you guys do similar preps prior to going out in a match.
Or different stuff too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, please leave your comments below. We really want to hear from you. If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe on YouTube.
Remember, life's an adventure.
Stay on target.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Ed.